Good afternoon, everybody. This is the Austrian compartment. My English still has not improved much. Only 1 week training each year. So I tried to, in a condensed version, to show you what we have done the last 10 years, the Austrian Phoenix Group. My colleague Günther Schermann is sitting somewhere between the rows here, and we are here with a group of 40 people. 7 or 8 are also here. So we have done a lot in the last 10 years. It's a sort of anniversary we have now, so let's have a look back and I give you glimpses of our work. So it all started in 2001. This was the year when I met Günther here in England, another Austrian. So we thought, okay, we are studying the whole stuff, so let's go together and make a study group. And in the meantime, we are, so let's say, the inner circle, half a dozen, and the outer circle, a dozen more, which are working on different crop circle subjects. It was especially amazing for me. After 10 years, in 1989, I was first in a crop circle and got somehow addicted. At least I collected everything I could get for 10 years, for 12 years. And then in the internet, it happened that this came up. Lucy Bringle put it into the internet, and this is not a crop circle. It's a crop rectangle. So and this confused me a bit. For hours I was staring at this head, and it stared back and so on, until I found out, oh, it's not the image the most interesting thing, it's the things behind. So I have 180 slides. I have to show you 3 slides a minute, so please, if I talk too much, say go on, go on. Otherwise you miss the point at the end. So if you look at a bit unsharp at the whole thing, you see better that this face. 1 week later, the second rectangle appeared, but first I stared at the first one. So why has it this proportion? Why is this frame has this width? Why is the tram line this angle? Why are the endpoints missing? And so on. In fact, I have written a whole book about it. This is the core geometrical structure behind, and if you put it in the third dimension, this is the message behind. It's a fractal double tetrahedron which has a lot to do with technology of the future, zero-point generators and such things. The second rectangle has to do with a message which was sent by NASA, you know, never a straight answer, by NASA to a star bulk 24,000 years away, and they thought it will, by radio communication, and they thought it will need again 24,000 years or 48,000 years. It doesn't matter what happens. So 27 years later, this came as an answer. So this was the message from Earth to the stars, and this was in the same prime matrix. The answer, I cannot go much into the details, but this is a sort of transmission station. This is the Arecibo observatory in Puerto Rico, 300 meters diameter, and this says 850 meters. It's binary mathematics, and it's talking about triple DNA and so on. 1 year before, in the same field, there was this design, and we found that it's 1 year later, in this long message, there was an abstraction of the design before in the same field. So we brought it into the third dimension. The transmitter with 850 meters is a sort of fractal transmitter, which looks very interesting. And so we thought, why is nobody answering the whole thing? So we get a message from the stars nobody answers, and NASA ignored it, and so I came to the idea, a crazy idea, okay, I will answer if nobody answers. And I called all big observatories, and they all said, no, we will not do it. What degrees do you have published? I said, nothing, I want to answer this thing. So they said it's not possible. But the Russians said, okay, we will do it. It will cost in the Ukraine, it will cost $30,000 per hour. So we didn't have the money, but we found hobby radio astronomers which had 2, 4, 5, 6, 8 meter dish, yes. And so we said we combine all the small together and do it, but isn't it totally nonsense to send beep signals to higher intelligences? They are thinking it's beeping down there. So we said, okay, symbolically we will do it, but we will do a better thing. We will make a mass telepathy action. So we organized mass telepathy through internet, newspapers, some TV stations, and this was the structure we sent by telescopes and by mass telepathy. In short, the same structure. We got it. We realized what you want to tell us. Let's be friends. So hand holding. And this is the two brain halves, and in the middle, the third eye. You can see it here better. So on the 1st February 2003, this is the planetary constellation. We are sending from Earth to the Jupiter moons. It says Jupiter moons somewhere here, with a lot of small telescopes, and by telepathy, let us friends, and we have understood. So. So we made some posters to explain the whole thing, and the action was called Hello Jupiter Message Day, yes. And a lot of people thought we are totally crazy, and I thought maybe there will be a crop circle afterwards and answer it somehow. It didn't really come as an answer as a crop circle, but after this activity, we somehow found so much during our intent to decode things. The year before, maybe we decoded 2 or 3 crop circles, more or less, and after this activity, it was 20 and more. So they thought, if we contact them by telepathy, why shouldn't they do it also? So by intuition, we found a lot of help. So I published a book about it in German and in English. Some are possibly on the bookstall. And then I thought, I tried to make a TV documentary. It didn't work out because very conservative Austria. And so I got the chance, I may have to make it short, with Eric van Deniken in his mystery park to make a big exhibition, 1,000 square meters, in 2004. And we got 93,000 visitors, and they made bankrupt, not because of us, because of errors of the management. And so we spent more money than we got from them. So they said, okay, you can take the whole stuff with you. So two big lorries, we brought the whole exhibition to Austria, 7 tons, and made one exhibition in Austria with some more stuff, 2,000 square meters. And then I got the chance in South Korea, in Seoul, together with an archaeological exhibition, which I designed to show also crop circles. And what happened? The first crop circle in South Korea appeared in young sugarcane. But first, one thing about the Switzerland exhibition. The management has grown in spring a wheat field in front of the exhibition hall, and they wanted to make a hoaxing competition in August. So I said, are you mad? We don't make more guided tours. We go home if you do such things. So we went home, and when we were back, one day with the railway, we got a call, please come back as soon as possible. There will be no such competition. In the night, a crop circle appeared, and the whole field is full. So this was it. This is the exhibition hall, and it was, the birds have eaten it up here. But this is a very interesting design, which is a sort of squeezed tetrahedron with a pyramid angle. If you want to know more about this exhibition, we have a website, so you can at least look at 100 of pictures. This is in South Korea. This giant design appeared with hidden pyramid structures. The interesting thing is the length of this design is 230 meters, and the base length of the Great Pyramid is also 230 meters. So we had the idea during our lectures. I always said we want an international big crop circle museum, a sort of Guggenheim for crop circles. And in our lectures, every second lecture, a farmer was in the audience and said, first make a small one. And I said, okay, where? In my farmhouse. So since 5 years, there is the first crop circle museum existing in Austria, 400 square meters in a farmer's house. But we are still trying to get the huge thing done. We have an architect based on this crop circle. It's everything planned, we only need the money. This is a side view, and at the moment we are also working on this crop circle, making it to a bowl, and as a sort of future living home, which can make new villages for the new consciousness. These are studies of the whole thing. This is an ongoing project. Let's go a bit back, what things we have found. I can only give you glimpses. In the beginning, I compiled 400 slides with the most important findings. I reduced it to 180, and so, but you get an idea. So the scarab is a wonderful abstract design with a lot of Egypt meaning. You can see some structural things, and I also do artistic designs. And while I do this, I have to look at every detail, and so I find, by using the non-rational half of the brain, I find such background. So this is the construction background of the scarab, and in the wings of the scarab is a very interesting information. The easiest way to construct quickly the Great Pyramid, you only have to make a big circle, and on this circle make 24 equal circles, and then make lines from the first to the third, second to the fourth, and so on, and mirror it, and you get a sort of sieve. This structure, this is the male flower of life, so to say. This is the female matrix of the universe, and this is the male one, and they are interlocked. You can see it here. The Great Pyramid is within the flower of life. A flower of life is a 3D structure, but I can only show it in 2D here. So this was a major finding, a very important one. And it sounds a bit crazy. I see pyramids everywhere, and today somebody said, oh, Cheops is the wrong word for it. I know, it was never a grave. And this guy said, it's J. Oops Pyramid, from my name J. So, these are the obelisks, and you have to see it in 3D. And I didn't believe what I was thinking, so I had to check it up. I built it in cardboard, and it's perfect, and it's proven. The axis of all these obelisks is the pyramid angle. And all obelisks have on the top a small pyramid. So here are 12 pyramids, and here are 12 axes with the angles of pyramids in 3 logarithmic spirals. So it also has to do with technology of the future. 24 pyramids are here, and you cannot see anyone. So the next amazing thing was the so-called Ohm sign. You know, the Ohm sign in each Indian district, it's written a bit different. In short, you can call it, this is the subconscious, this is the day conscious, this is the dreaming consciousness, this is the higher consciousness, and this is the core of reality, the heart of reality. And if you let the Ohm sign stand up, you see it's the same thing like how they write it in India, but perfectly mathematically presented. And if you look a bit behind, you make these half circles to full circles, and you overlay them, you get a specific proportion structure with hexagrams and so on. And if you make a line from the heart of reality to the center of the subconscious, you get again the Great Pyramid angle and much more. Even so, the Sri Yantra, which is in India the mathematical representation of the highest consciousness, has the first triangle, the Great Pyramid. And this intelligence was able, with the Ohm sign as a crop circle, to put all the mathematical Sri Yantra information into the symbol as a mathematical geometrical structure, which is totally amazing. Nobody on earth could have done this, I think. So this design, I must say, on the first look at it, I knew, oh, the Ark of the Covenant is here, because I have investigated a lot before in this structure. You know, the Ark of the Covenant is shown in a lot of different visions or illustrations, always 2 angels, and a box with long sticks to carry the whole thing. It's in the Bible you can read the measurements of this box, and it fits totally exactly into the sarcophagus in the Great Pyramid in the King's Chamber. You can prove it if you like. This is the proportion of the sarcophagus. This is the proportion of the Ark of the Covenant. It sits perfectly inside, half a centimeter you have, and the rest space is 2 pyramids. It fits totally everything, and the structure tells us, if you know what's going on with the Ark of the Covenant, it tells you everything. It's wrong that the wearing sticks have been upside and not on the side, otherwise it would not be possible to put it into the sarcophagus. And the angels, which are always drawn between the seat of God, symbolically saying, interestingly, the English word for an angel and the word for angle, you know what I mean, angle? Yeah, is quite the same. And the wings of the angels are important, especially the angles of the angels. It has to do, it's a sort of free energy machine which has a lot of possibilities depending on how exactly you calibrate it. So I cannot go more into detail. The Celtic cross is extremely interesting. It's built up from two other crop circles, and it has an enormous amount of background information. So the pyramid, hexagram, squaring the circle, fractal pentagrams. Leonardo da Vinci's Vitruvian Man. Leonardo has put a lot of secrets behind. Behind this cross are, I think, more secrets, which I cannot go into detail now. The next interesting thing in relation to 2012, 2008, Geoff showed it before, this constellation appeared, which got an extension some days later and was destroyed partly by the farmer. Here's a reconstruction. If you study it, all the planetary positions, you see the reconstruction shows Mars is here 2 times. You cannot really see it in the destroyed part because Mars was also half destroyed. So they show us that our whole solar system will calibrate it to its out of perfection, and it will be perfected again during the end of this cycle. But the most amazing thing is, if you look on this perfect bird's eye view, this is Mars, Pluto is outside here. Pluto, Mars, Sun conjunction. Astrologers know this is the most powerful constellation. And if you take Mars and make a line to Saturn, to Earth, and to Neptune, you see it, you get the perfect Great Pyramid angle. And the strangest thing is the missing top part of the Great Pyramid, so the Earth is completing the whole thing. So on 21st December 2012, over the whole solar system, you will get a pyramid with the Earth as the top part of it. What does that mean? That's incredible. If you study pyramid energetic functions with high frequency photography and so on, you always see after some time the energy will start spiraling through the top. And what happens with Pluto, Mars, Kitzeln, what does that mean? Knocking at the sun, hey, I want some emanations, solar wind. So the sun is giving, first I have to tell, the sun activities are misunderstood. Our sun has a lot of planetary children, and they all want energy, and they make specific geometric positions to ask for energy. And if the positions exact, then solar emanations, sunspots, and so on appear. And on this day, because of this pyramid, it's 2D, but it's so big that it doesn't matter. It must not be 3D, but I show it here. Okay, the sun says, okay, you will get energy, and the energy starts to swirl around to the top. So the change has just begun, but the maximum of change will be around 21st December 2012. It's a sort of light wave which you can surf with your consciousness on. And it's the total transformation, if you're open to it. This is a phoenix crop circle which appeared. It has also to do with this structure. Maybe I come later to it. The most interesting thing, Avebury stone circle is here. And this constellation crop circle appeared here. And if you study it in detail, it's a fractal flower of life. And it's the only possible position where this crop circle could appear, and it appeared to the meter on the exact position. Otherwise, this could not have been shown. And it shows the changing of the magnetic North Pole and some more things. We are the Phoenix group studying the transformations, and so transformation is the only steady thing in times like this. And this Phoenix is a global symbol for transformation. I show you shortly how we try to decode the things. We start with a good photograph. It looks like air view, but it isn't. And different steps, we get it into the perfect air view and then reconstruct it and overlay it till we find, okay, this is the right construction. And then we find the thing. So, for example, this Phoenix has the feathers are exactly Great Pyramid. There's a hexagram, there are vesica Pisces, there is an obelisk, a sun bark, and such things are hidden in the structures in a lot of crop circles. And if you project this Phoenix on the top of this constellation pyramid, you see how the Jupiter is also involved, and Jupiter is good luck and so on, so it will work out, the whole thing. The pyramid is extremely impossible. In fact, it's the most important building on planet Earth. They left it for us, obviously, so to grasp the whole thing. And I show you some examples of Great Pyramid. The Phoenix is an age-old symbol. You see here the wings with the sun, and the Phoenix is a Mexican drawing. And this is an abstract Phoenix wing as a crop circle. And you have only, let's take this crop circle. If you use the inner corners of the crater wing, you get an equilateral triangle. If you use the outer part of the wings, you get the pyramid. All these crop circles have equilateral triangles and pyramids, hidden structures, on and on. I could show you hundreds. So, this crop circle was destroyed by the farmer, no, the first one. Then this one came, plus these little dots. It's easy, you only have to connect the dots and you see the hidden pyramid structure. Sometimes they give us hints with some small crop circles here or there. And a lot of mandala structures have, you can easily see where the rotating pyramid structures are. For example, this abstraction of the yin-yang and the I Ching in the back. This is a very funny thing, so easy. We got the double yin-yang, and you make a black and white drawing, and take the same and make it vertical, fitting in, and then you connect the dots and you have the Great Pyramid. You see, the Great Pyramid is immanent in the cosmic design. It's a must that it's here, and it's everywhere. So sometimes I thought, it's crazy, I always only see pyramids. So, for example, the colibri, where is the pyramid? They use the tram lines. I mirrored it, and they have humor. It's hidden in the tram lines, the pyramid. Or here, it's hidden in this structure. And look at this head with this mantle eyes. I don't know the English word. Almond eyes. Make a line from the one eye to the other to the top of the head. Inside you have the Great Pyramid. Possibly they have built it for us. Well, here some points outside which give hints to find the internal structures. Here again, some points. Here it's as the flower of life structure is also in the back, it's easy to find. Here's Great Pyramid. And this big wheel of a tractor, the farmer sees a tractor here, but it's a rotating pyramid wheel. I told you how to construct a pyramid. Or here again, only you have to connect the dots, it's enough. And you see the hidden pyramid structures. Or this flying object, which has very interesting structures. For example, the Freemasons, the original or the optimized Freemason symbol is in the center hidden. On the same day in China was a UFO sighting quite looking like that. And I loaded down 100 Freemason logos and tried to find out how much are correct. So 20%. The others, even in their logo, have no more the consciousness which was originally behind the Freemason knowledge. So this, so we got a diamond, and amazingly, it's a cut you can never get at the jewelry store. It has the inverse pyramid angle, and we studied it a bit more. With this cut, the light coming from the side will be reflected to a cone directly going on top of the pyramid. So this crystal structure, possibly you know all, it's a 3D structure. There are pyramids without end. The English word is dragonfly, yes. It's totally geometry behind the structure, and this poetic, let's say, musical structure, where can you see the pyramid? It seems to be nowhere, but there are two pyramids behind. You only have to take the center of this and make the tangent, you get the first and more subtle inside. So the goddess crop circle, where is the pyramid? The funny thing is there is a part of storks standing. It's also a symbol, a global symbol. If you analyze it, it's a highly interesting structure with golden section pyramids, vesica, and so on. And if you use all the different circles and overlay them, you also get a fractal structure in the back. But the most amazing thing is, if you look what's with this small tuft, if you use the center of the head till the limit of the inner circle, and you make the pyramid, this tuft is exactly the queen's chamber position. So that's humorous. But the most humorous thing, the most humorous thing is this fool's head. We got, I think, half a dozen fool's heads, and you have an equilateral triangle, and this is the wandering stick with the bag with some food. And if you put it on the head, the whole thing, the wandering stick is part of the Great Pyramid, hidden. So that's really funny things which I like. Yeah? In Italy, also very interesting crop circles appear. Last year, this is the formula of Einstein as a lotus flower. We need not to go into detail. Einstein maybe has to do with it himself. But the most interesting part is they use two fields, the green one and the other one, and it's exactly the pyramid angle. So again, they showed us with different side steps what we should look for. A Swiss crop circle with a lot of pyramid structures. And last year in Germany, this year also, a week ago on this some way outside of Munich, this crop circle appeared, and the first you see only, well, it's a triangle mandala, but it has an enormous amount of information. Overlaid, it's like this. If you go into the different layer details, you get these structures, but the most interesting part is it tells us about the real necessity of the air shafts of the Great Pyramid. You know, it's a nonsense to call them air shafts because they are closed. Yeah? The second nonsense is there's nobody in who needs the air. Because there was never a pharaoh inside, and if he was dead, he even needs no air. No? So what's the use? They go into the different star directions, but when we decomposed this Munich crop circle, we found out why. It's 9 rotating pyramids, and they are crossing each other. And the crossing points of the rotating pyramids are exactly the so-called air shafts. So the air shafts have an energetic function. From my point of view, it was filled with plasma. And at least this crop circle tells the first way about it which makes sense. So the pyramid is a thing with which you can go into contact with the creator, with the creative consciousness. And why is it so? So astrologers know there are angles which don't really work, do nothing, or are very weak or so on. There are other angles which are powerful. And this is the whole thing with sacred geometry. There are specific proportions which are extremely powerful, the sacred geometry and the angles. And this is used for this. There are only 5 Lego bricks with which the whole universe is built, the so-called Platonic solids. And myriads of Platonic solids are needed for every human, everything. And a young creator who starts to put Platonic solid Lego bricks together, everything would fall apart if he would not have the patex, the glue, to hold everything together. And this is the pyramid angles and proportions. So without the pyramids, the physical universe could not even exist. So let's go to some other findings. This is a square, in fact, within a field, and this is the frame within the square. Why didn't they put it into the center? It made me nervous. Till I found out it has a reason. They often show us squaring the circles. Here they show us cubing the square, and that's the reason why it is not in the center. I must let it stay this way, otherwise we cannot go through the whole thing. Another interesting thing is a Swiss crop circle. It's only composed out of 3 rings. And the 3 rings are held together by these equilateral nested triangles. So it's a fractal proportion. The power of this crop circle comes from the hidden fractal emanations, which you can find if you decompose it. Last year, again, a highly interesting Swiss crop circle appeared. They have not much crop circles, but if they come, they are really highly interesting. It's some ground views. It's so complicated that I can give you only a slight idea, but it's wonderful. So last year I told you about the findings we made about the Jesus crop circles. I will show it a bit again and some new findings. I'm just writing on a book. It's still not finished, but hopefully in autumn. So you all know what happened last year. This was one of the absolute highlights. 2 of these 80-meter diameter circles appeared with more than 100 mini circles inside. They have the golden proportion, but the main thing is if you redraw the mini circles and overlay them, you get what you see in the center. And if you make it unsharp, with a computer or with the eye, the optimum position of unsharpness, you get this. And this is extremely amazing. You know, it's the face of Jesus, of the Shroud of Turin, but not only this. You all know the Shroud of Turin. In 1978, the Vatican allowed to get the shroud studied and photographed, and an American photographer made 7 photographs from close-ups from the face. And in the laboratory, it was analog, not digital. When he put it out from the liquids, the 7th photograph had this manifestation. Jesus opened the eyes in front of him in his laboratory. He was really shocked. And you can see the manifestation was not fully. Here you can see a bit of the shroud, some parts. And because he made 6 pictures before, he could deduct the shroud completely, and then it got wide parts. And if you compare this with the crop circle, the lighter parts are quite the same like the manifestation. I tried to copy the whole thing with software. There are 2 softwares existing. It's impossible to do it because, in fact, each of the Jesus crop circles has 2 layers. Otherwise, this would not work. I give you only some ideas. Here you can compare it a bit. This is only the manifestation of the paraphoto made unsharp, and this is the crop circle. So, in fact, why is this so interesting? It's a triple paranormal phenomenon. The shroud is paranormal. I cannot go into detail now because I would need 5 hours, but it's definitely proven. The photograph is paranormal and the crop circle is paranormal. So I studied parapsychology for long. I'm writing the 10th book about this. I have to write. And I found new things which are nearly incredible. This is a bird's eye view of the Jesus crop circles. And you know these small lines where all the other circles. If you prolong them, the 2 circles give a great pyramid. And if you study it more, where does the top of the pyramid hint? It hints to this. This is 20 miles further on. And more interesting, after 10 years studying crop circles, in fact 20 years, but let's say in open public 10 years, I never found a crop circle till last year. I found the Grail. I tell you, it's a funny story. I came to the helicopter. We have been with a group of 33 people there, and I forgot one of our members. He wanted to fly too. I said, I have flown several times, you can fly instead of me. But then the management came and said, in the first flight, a journalist did not come. You can take part in the first flight. So I was the first to fly, and the pilot started and flew over Silbury Hill and said, what strange hill is that? I looked at him, everybody knows Silbury Hill here. And then I found out he was borrowed from Middle England because they had not enough pilots. He only got the coordinates he should fly. So somehow I started to tell him where he had to fly, and he did it. And I even didn't know why I told him. And 2 minutes later, we flew over the Grail. And I said, wow, the Holy Grail is here. I made a short sketch and gave it to the other pilots. And so the whole group flew over it, and in the afternoon we have been inside. So it also has a lot of pyramid and sacred geometry structures behind. I made an artistic depiction which people like I make at home square meter big digital paintings, which are in more than 300 homes in Austria now. And well, the Grail, what is the Grail? There are so much stories about the Holy Grail. I think it's much more easier than most people tell. If you raise your consciousness, you long for the light. If you became das Gefäß, the bowl, you became yourself the Grail for the light. The chalice, yes. That's also why chalice well and so on. And in South England are so much important points which have to do with the Jesus crops. Joseph of Arimathea, who was who managed a tin factory and who gave the clothes for the Shroud of Turin. And there is a little chapel where the temple knights made a naive painting of the shroud, and a lot of factors which make it understandable why these crop circles appeared here. So we all have to become the Holy Grail, the chalice for the light. Oh, here, this is what I wanted to tell you. The crop circles appeared here. So, and the Grail nearby, and this is the chapel in Geowheel where this naive painting is, and this is the mining factory where Joseph of Arimathea was not working as a commercial trader, and you know, the thorn bush. There are a lot of factors. Well, I have to work more on this book, and the financial finances are also not fixed now. I have about 300 people who ordered it, but I need 500 in German first, and then it will be translated. Well, if somebody is interested, leave your name here. Now, let's go back again to 2001. You all know this design. But how much circles does it have? Who knows it? 400 and no, it's wrong. Francine, you should know it. It's 410. Where is it? Can you see it? The 410s? I show you. Most pictures don't show this part of the field. That's the reason why nobody investigated it. Only some months ago, I must find out why is this circle there. So I made it's difficult with not highly resolution pictures, images, but I managed it. So I made a bird's eye view as good as possible. You can see it. The circle is here. So it's on the other side of the field, on the corner. And the whole galaxy is also on they needed the whole field. And the reason why it is not in the center, because they wanted to tell us something very special. If you make a circle without the extensions around the galaxy, and the second one, and I'll show it later, inside, then the center of this circle makes a great pyramid. And if you make a circle around the extensions, it's the top is outside. So this 410th circle tells us our whole galaxy has to do with the Great Pyramid. In fact, it goes far more wider, further, which I can only give you some clues now. The new galaxy, which we got last year, I forgot the plant name, beans, yes. If you overlay it to the galaxy, you get some interesting ideas. It fits totally inside. The NASA has shown us how our galaxy looks till 2005 in this way. Then they changed the idea, no, it looks this way, because they cannot through the centers. It's only a vision how it might look. So and they got more facts. So, but the sun is somewhere here. It's not as a perfect swirling galaxy, it's a bar galaxy. And this crop circle in the beans shows it. It has an extremely amount of information. You see, there are two ways galaxies evolve. This way or this bar galaxy. And they show us, no, our galaxy is a bar galaxy. Here you can see it a bit better. So this way or the other way. Yeah? There is another galaxy. This is a bar galaxy somewhere nearby. It has 3 light centers. And they show us, so it fits quite like this one. In infrared, you can see the 3 light centers. And I overlaid it over the NASA depiction. And the very interesting thing is, the sun is in this position. And if you project it on the field, the sun is on the exact corner of this Celtic ritual place. And it goes furthermore, there are pyramids inside, and the sun is on a position on the top of a pyramid, not going over our solar system. Our sun is the top of a pyramid going, at the moment, the position, going over the whole galaxy. So there is the next level, which I'm working now more. It's a lot of profound stuff which I need better English to explain. So I studied this also a bit. This is the background construction, then I make funny pictures. Also here are pyramids in the back, if you use different major points. Let's go to the ring structures, multiple ring structures, which appeared this year. You know, first was a simple ring structure, then the extension came. This is the overlay. And if you study this in more detail, the rings depict square, pentagram, hexagram, septagram, hexagram again, and the tram line is used as the bottom of an inscribed pyramid. So this moon questions have also some pyramids in the back. They even gave us some clues. Use these outer circles and you find it. Inside also some more. And at the beginning of this year in the Philippines, this was the first crop cycle of this year. Very interesting structure, also a lot of pyramids. And the new one near Turin, Porino, has also pyramids inside, but the more interesting thing is the message in between. It has binary codes, ASCII codes, and it tells Ea, Enki, space. And Ea was a Sumerian creation god, later named Enki. Well, you can read it yourself. And the interesting thing is there are cylinder seals which show Enki 2,300 years before, and they even knew at that time how our solar system was, how much planets we have and so on. And some people say, no, this is only a star and a mixture, you cannot overinterpret it. This is not, I tried to find out, so I became, for me it's a proof, not because of the planet's position, but because of this star in the back, but I can only give you some hints. The sunspots are appearing on 19.5 degrees north of the sun and south. And if you put an invisible tetrahedron rotating into the sun, it's the same degrees. So in fact, sacred geometry makes it happen that sunspots appear on these degrees, and this is a hint. They knew it, so they had a knowledge of this functioning behind. The other interesting thing is this is the build-up of the whole Neutrino structure, and they have a sort of leaves of a flower with sun or the star positions 5, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4. This is a symbolic interpretation which might not be the only one, but it fits to the whole thing. I say this, he wants to tell us, so the so-called Anunnaki for a long time ago have been bad people and made us to slaves and so on, but evolution is going on. Also Anunnaki are waking up and jumping on the new light wave. So not all, but obviously this Enki. And so it says, I made it that the mankind, the human, got the chance from above to below to incorporate in the dense dimensions. This is my interpretation of it. There are cylinder seals which are showing the creation of mankind. It's a genetic engineering in Sumeria a long time ago. So in fact, this Italian crop circle says what I've written here: I, Ea, formerly named Enki, am in space now around you, because the seventh planet is the Earth from outside, and I was the one giving you the chance to come from above with your spirit down to Terra into the dense Earth realm. Hopefully we will get more contact with him. I think this is a soft first correspondence. Well, then I show you, we do all the crop circles, we bring them all into bird's eye view, perfect bird's eye view. This is our way to divide between the wheat and the chaff of crop circles. And this way we find things which are definitely not made from the highest levels. And there is a sort of fight going on between the stumper bars. Okay, yes. Okay, 30 slides more, yes. Okay, I have to be quicker. You understand what I mean? So the first complex crop circle, technological one, the Barbary Castle design, has a lot of hidden pyramids. And what happens this year in 28th of January in Jerusalem? Anybody knows it? Yes. A UFO came down direct above the Dome of the Rock. I can show you some close-up pictures. And one, it was filmed by 8 different people. One was faked by the Israeli government or how do you call it, the Geheimdienst, or so it doesn't matter. Intelligence, yeah. It's a strange word, intelligence, to use for these guys. Well, and somebody filmed it while it was flowing over him. And you can see it only in the movie, but I have only slides here, so I projected it into it. And on the down part of the UFO is the Barbary Castle, the whole UFO. It's incredible. And it went 23 seconds, it stayed there, then it went away with 100,000 kilometers. It's extremely quick. So this is the most amazing happening of this year. Two months later, this was at 1 o'clock in the night. 2 months later, it came at 12 o'clock at midday and stayed also 23 seconds, and then with the same speed was away. It was filmed too. So we get a lot of crop circles during the night and during the day. There are some institutions which understand nearly nothing. And the strange thing is, near the crop circle county, you have big old universities, Oxford, Cambridge. I cannot believe they studied no crop circle. No university is studying it. And so I thought the next step is, you know, there are the UNESCO, there is a thing called intangible cultural heritage of mankind. So crop circles are such a thing. So I tried to, I wrote them, I would like to introduce you to crop circles, they are cultural heritage. Want you give them the stamp. It's a bureaucratic madness you cannot imagine. So I stopped the whole thing. What I do now, I made myself a stamp. And I put it on every photograph. And the problem is so. So from my point, the main lecture of crop circles is the hidden necessity of the Great Pyramid in making the physical world possible. It all has to do with the big changes are coming, and that we should meditate about this to become homo cosmicus and realize who we really are. Sometime we will digest it. And please wait for my book. And that's what I wanted to tell you. Okay.
That was great fun.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I need a